Hey guys, we're back again. It's 6:30. Knowledge by Nikki Smith speaking. How you all doing this morning? It's a good morning. It's good weather out here in Chicago. It's supposed to be a good weekend. We take it as we can get it because you never know when it's going to be 40 one day and 80 the next. So I've been really thinking, I get up early, and those of you all that have been watching me know that I do my little drive. I get up at about maybe 5:45, 5 o'clock every morning, and I do a little drive. And I get my Starbucks. That's my drug of choice in the morning. And I may get myself some oatmeal or something, just pretty much whatever. And I think about what has God given me today to talk about with you all. That's kind of what I think about. What has God given me to talk about? We have been talking about all week this Color Me Crazy movement, the color movement, meaning the black salon, the African American stylists, and they're trying to create a paradigm shift in how we view color, trying to create a situation where we are no longer running from color. We've talked about everything from how to set up a price list to how to figure out in your area what pricing should cost. We've talked about a lot of things this week. In my drive this morning and in my prayer, God told me to talk about change. Now, when we talk about change, I know a lot of people literally fear change. Hi, Angie. How you doing this morning? A lot of people fear change, and I get it. I am one who I've never had a lot of fear of change. Now, you get a lot of anxiety. Anxiety and fear can be two different things. You get anxious when you get married, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily afraid to get married. Hi, Erica. So let's talk about change. And when I talk about change, I specifically mean change in our industry, and more specifically, change with our location. Now, what do I mean by that when I say change with location? We've been talking all week about color and how color can change your life. Good morning, Rhonda. Believe it or not, guys, when I really embraced color, that was probably about my 13th year in this industry when I really embraced it, and I said, I'm going to do this thing. I actually had the opportunity to work around a lot of Caucasians with different companies that I worked with, and I saw what they were doing with their color. I mean, they were killing the game, and I'm like, how do I get to that place? How do I get there? And guess what I realized was necessary is not only for me, hey, Raina, good morning, not only for me to change my pricing, not only for me to change how I started approaching clients as far as getting them to try these services, which we talked about that, but also, guess what, guys? I actually had to change my location. Literally. I realized that the growth cycle that I was on, the type of growth that I needed to see, it was not conducive to the location that I was in. Hey, Nunu, it wasn't conducive to that. And I've talked to many thousands of stylists as I teach 40 weeks out of 52. And I've talked to many stylists that talk about they can't charge these prices in the salon they're in, or they can't charge these prices in the area that they're in. And more often it's the salon that they're in. Then move. You got to move then. When you find that your growth is not conducive to where you spend 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, then you got to go where it is. It's just that simple. You have to go where your change can be nurtured. Period. I own my own salons for 20 years. But before that even changing the location of the salons that I owned. Before that, as I grew, because I'm very intentional about growth, I set standards and goals for myself daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever it requires, whatever I think is realistic in me accomplishing it. And hi, Claiborne, what's going on, man? And I set these goals, and I realized that I get to these places I'm trying to improve my color game. I'm trying to improve my cutting game, whatever it is. And I will tell you, when you talk about color, it requires a certain atmosphere. It requires a certain amount of space. Let's just talk about space. You cannot necessarily do color if the space that you're working in is 5 by 5. You don't have room for storage. You don't have room for, when you're working with color, everything should be within maybe a step and a reach from you. That means if I need more developer, I'm not going in the back under a counter. I'm not doing that. You look at how it is when we set up at a doctor's office. When we go into a doctor's office, and look how everything is set up. Or dentist is probably even more a good metaphor of what I'm trying to show you. When you go in a dentist's office, that dentist can sit in that chair. He or she can roll maybe about, at the best, 3 feet and reach whatever it is that they need, because they have set up their immediate working area to be conducive to time, to even maybe how they get things out of containers so they don't have waste. So this is something that we're going to have to simulate. Next time you go on a dentist, just sit there and look around. Just look around and see where everything is. And I want you to start writing down everything you know you need for color. We're probably going to go through that list next week. You're going to need all these things for color, and you're going to have your immediate space set up to be able to work efficiently. But grander than that, we're talking about not just the immediate space. We're talking about the entire, the atmosphere is what I'm talking about. The actual area that you're in. We've talked about increasing your prices. Well, if you're in an area where we talked about how to figure out the median household income the other day. When you're in an area that only has a median household income, not that all of your clients come directly from that area, but they generally will come from maybe about a 15 to 20 mile, and that's stretching it, radius from where you are. That's just a general business 101 rule. That's where clients are pretty much coming from. So if you do that area and you say, okay, this area, the median household income is about $60,000 a year, and these people really don't have the kind of money that would allow me, even though I think I'm worth it. They don't have the kind. Hi, Nikisha, you're right. It's the truth. They don't have the money to pay me for a $200 or $300 color service. They just don't have it. Then I'm telling you, look at me, real good. Move. That's what you do. You move. You move to where people can afford you. If you got to drive a little further in the morning, in the evening, to get what you're worth, that's what you do. Now, don't just wake up and move. It's a planned move now. But this is what you got to do. You got to move. You got to say, you know what? If I want to get at least $75 a head from a shampoo and style. Now, I'm talking about people that aren't already established stylists. Because believe it or not, established stylists, we can go to the moon and they're going to pay whatever and they're going to come wherever, and that's pretty much it. But I'm talking about those of you all still in this, well, we're all growing, but still in kind of the embryo stages of this growth cycle. You're going to have to look for an area to really get the prices that you really want. Just take this example. If I'm in an area that has about a $75,000 median household income, and I want you to maybe take about 10 to 15 miles from where you are, find out all of the median household incomes for those areas. So I'm sure that might be a couple cities. If the average household income is $75,000, then believe it or not, you can get about, really it's 1% of that for shampoo and style, which is $75. You can get that, guys. You can get that. But if you're in an area where the median household income is about $40,000, then you're not going to be able to probably squeeze $75 for a shampoo, and then they get another color service, and that's going to be another $50, and then maybe they got a double process, which is 2 process, that may be a additional $50. You're going to struggle trying to get that kind of money out of an area where the income just doesn't support it. It just doesn't, guys. So you're going to have to find an area that is conducive to where you are at that stage in your growth. That's just a reality. So those of you all that are afraid to change, you're afraid to move, you're afraid to do whatever, guys, it is inevitable. And let me say this about change and movement and growth. We've talked about education. Sometimes, guys and girls, this is not a team sport. It would be lovely if all the people that we started in the salon with, we grow together and we go to shows together and we go to class together, but it's not so. And do not, I repeat, do not, now I'm driving so I can't really look at you. Do not hinder your growth because you do not have someone to tag along with you. Hey James, how you doing? Don't hinder your growth because you don't have someone to tag along. That is not, you will be the person that 20 years from now will be saying, if I shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, let me tell you what's interesting. I'm going to go sidebar for a minute. Let's talk to some older people who have, and when I say older, I'm talking about over 50. And let's ask them, is there anything that you regret in your lifetime? Let me tell you what you're going to end up hearing. People never regret what they do. They always regret what they didn't do. All the time. If you do something and it don't work, so what? Do something else. But if you never do it, you will live to regret never knowing whether it would have worked or not. You'll never know. So you change the shop? Okay. See, and I'm almost 50, Nunu, so I'm almost there. 50 plus, okay? If you change the salon because you're trying to be conducive with the growth of your life and your career, and that one don't work out, okay. And I'm not promoting chair hopping. That's not what I'm saying, guys. I'm not promoting you just jump around because you didn't like your boss or you didn't like stupid stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real growth, and my growth is stunted here. Whether it's the people that are in your space, see, that's, y'all don't realize that's why salon suites got popular, because folks don't know how to work together. But that's another conversation another day. But if you are in an environment that is not conducive to where you're going, then you have to plan your exit strategy. You have to plan it. I don't care what it requires. Ain't no such thing as starting over. I absolutely hate that term, starting over. What does that mean? I'm not starting over. I'm growing. I ain't starting over. I'm growing, because every time I personally have moved into another salon or moved my salon to another area, it put me in a better position than the last one. Whether it was financially, whether it was that I was in an environment. Look, we got to be in these salons too long. I don't want no stress, no drama. I don't want none of that. I used to be in the salon, anybody that knows me, 17 hours a day, if not more, for 5 and 6 hours a week. I'm too old for the drama. I don't want to do none of that. My growth requires a certain energy. It requires a certain atmosphere. I need people that speak every day. I need people that no matter what you're going through, you can still be even, still communicate, that's what I need in my environment. Hi, Deb. How you doing? So this is something that when you find that you can't grow, you can't be nurtured in the particular place that you're in, because now when you get into this color thing, if you want real money from people, it's a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. It is no longer, I can't get $300 and $400, and I've had $500 color services out of people, and I'm sitting in an environment where they got chicken on the floor and French fries and smoking and drinking and cussing and just all kind of stuff going. It doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. It does not work. And people that will pay you real money are stable. That means these are the ones that you can guarantee they're going to be there. They're going to come regularly. They're going to do what you said do. If you said, I need to see you every week, every other week, etc., they're going to be there. I want people that don't mind spending money. I want people that if I tell you this is what you need to buy, it ain't, oh, I can't buy that shampoo. No. I don't want to hear that. I want to be in an environment and around people that are where I am and further. Period. And you have to put yourself in a working environment so you can nurture these new things I'm teaching you. You have to. If you don't, you're going to be, it's like playing tug of war and somebody's on the other side that's a little bit stronger than you. That's what you're doing, guys. So we got to be willing to make the shift, make the change, whatever is necessary. Sometimes it may even be a situation where you may have to put yourself, not just the environment. Let's say your environment is cool. Your great environment, but the people are nice, but you just can't necessarily get what you need there. You may need to put yourself also in an environment where people can teach you. Meaning, it's not a bad environment, but I need to be in an environment where people work better together, or people encourage people, or we have a system where everybody can't afford to go to the class. So you go to the class, you bring back what you learned, we slide you a couple dollars. They go to the class. It's 1,000 ways to do this. Let me give you all something too. This is for anybody who's a salon owner that's out here looking to maybe better a booth rental situation. Let me tell you something I learned. I'm kind of going off on a different direction here, but it was such an awesome experience. My very first salon I worked in. I want to thank Ann Anthony if she's ever listening to this. I love her, and she taught me something I'll never forget. We had something called an exchange system. Now, this is something that I saw in a salon environment that works for booth rental especially. So for those of y'all that salon owners, you can promote this, or for those of you all that are booth renters and all y'all get along and y'all work well together, listen to this. It's a great system, guys. And this changes the culture. An exchange system is simply this. I don't care how great everybody is in the salon, someone is always going to be busier than the other. It's just inevitable. Somebody just got more people. Somebody works more days. Somebody's willing to grind. Look, somebody don't have kids. They can work all day. Somebody got kids. They got whatever. It's always going to be that way. So if the person that's really, really busy, all of you all come together and agree on this, I'm telling you, it works. You all can say, let's promote an exchange system. That means this. If you do the a la carte price menu that I told you to do Monday, it'll make it easier to do this. That means everything has a price. Relaxer has a price. Shampooing has a price. Cutting has a price. Whatever it is. And I'm just saying hypothetically because we really don't do the cutting part. But let's say you're really busy. You got 5 or 6 people waiting. Makes no sense for those people to wait. Makes absolutely no sense for them to wait. So if you have another stylist that you feel comfortable with because y'all have created this relationship and they're sitting doing nothing, or maybe they just finished their last customer. If you have an a la carte price menu, you, the stylist that has people waiting on you, can take a client and say, let's say her name is I'll use my name. You'll say, hi, Miss Nikki. I'm running a little behind. I really value your time. So what I would like to do is introduce you to my coworker, whoever. And what I want to do is, she's just as good as me. Maybe you actually want to pump her up better than you. She actually better than me, girl. But what I want to do is I want to get you moving. I don't want you sitting here wasting time. So is it okay if I allow her to start some of your preliminaries? Hey, Ladonis. Meaning she can maybe do stuff like relax for you, or like put a color on for you, because if all of you, if you learning this, then maybe you can teach her too, okay? She can maybe do a color for you, or something simple, something that's not the finishing part or the special touches that only a stylist can do. If you have a la carte price menu, that means if she relaxes for you, the relaxer has a price. If she does an edge up for you, the edge up has a price. If she does a semi-permanent color application, that has a price. So if you do something like that at the end of the week, hey Danielle, how you doing? At the end of the week, you all could come together. She runs a tab, almost like a bar tab for you drinkers out there. She runs a tab of all that she's done for you for that week. It's only part of the service. And what you do at the end of the week is you pay her. Now, you can pay her in full, or you could pay a percentage. That's totally up to you all. I've done it both ways, where now she's done $100, $200 worth of stuff for you. Your clients kept moving. They're not sitting around forever. Because, see, I used to be one of those girls that had people sitting around, and I realized that wasn't going to work, not for my growth. She's not sitting around forever, and at the end of the week, you pay her. give her a couple dollars. That means she's made maybe $100, $200 off really helping you out. And let me tell you what it does. More than keep everybody busy and making money. Because see, when people sitting and other people making money, they get into stuff. So you want, as an owner, I wanted everybody need to work. Everybody needs to be busy, okay? But also it creates a culture, guys. The culture that it creates in a booth rental, typically every man for himself scenario, is that we all still work together. When you go out of town, that client now ain't scared that she gonna get her throat cut if she sit in somebody else's chair, because you out of town, she shouldn't have to just wait. She shouldn't have to wait. And now you've given her the okay subliminally that it's okay. I'm out of town. I'm in the Bahamas for a week, and we gotta pray for them over there, y'all. I'm in the Bahamas for a week. Go ahead and let so-and-so do you, because this is the one that's been helping me out with you anyway. For those of you all that are owners, I guarantee you this will promote a synergistic environment that cannot be matched. And let me tell you what it does also. For y'all owners that call me crying to me, like, what am I going to do? I just did a salon owners business class in Miami, and everybody got issue with workers. That's the issue. Workers, I'm sick of them. You as the leader have to take charge of creating an environment that is so wonderful that the people don't want to go nowhere. They just want to act right. Okay, they like, no, because they know they're not going to get that nowhere else. Okay? This is part of the things that you can do to create the culture that we want to work in. Now, it's not just up to the salon owners. It's also, you also can create this amongst yourself. Meaning booth renter, because see, I hear both sides. I do salon owners conferences. I hear salon owners can't find good workers. I've been in situations where I got a whole team of workers that have an awful owner. I don't know, we just can't seem to connect with the right group. But as a leader myself, and as you all being leaders, it is our responsibility to create the culture that we want others to work in and ourselves. So, okay, that was a little sidebar. You know, I got a lot going on in this brain, so I go off on tangents sometimes, so I'm going to reel myself back in. Because the thing that we're talking about, some of you all just came on, is change. And shifting your position, meaning physical position, for your growth. If you're trying to grow, where you at ain't working, deuces, I'm out. Now, when I say you leave, you don't just wake up one day and leave. You don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going. No. It requires planning. Every decision that I have made in my life, I probably pondered on it at the least 6 months before I did it. At the least. It's like, okay, because I see the writing on the wall before it get there. I'm like, okay, I already see what's happening here. Let me, because I'm very in tune with my environment, with people's energy, with shifts. I'm very in tune with that. And I say, okay, let me give me a couple plan B's, C's, D's, because I may have to make a shift here. Let me see. Let me see, because see, what I'm trying to do and what they're trying to do, it's not working too well together. And I have this statement that I've made to several people who are close to me. Everybody's wonderful. We're just not always wonderful together. And that's okay. I don't say what I'm doing is right, what you doing is right. No. What you doing, if it works for you, that's fine. But what I'm trying to do, this don't work for me. And that's it. And I ain't mad at nobody. And I like to make changes before people fall out. Before people start getting into tips. Because a lot of times, guys, when we're trying to grow, we get mad at everybody around us because they're not making our growth easy. But sometimes you can't change everybody around you. You just can't. You sometimes have to gather up your curling irons, make sure you do it in a professional and in a timely manner. You don't just walk out on people and you say, you know what? I appreciate what it is that you've given to me if you're a person working for someone. But I'm just going to have to move on to be able to do whatever I'm trying to do. You sometimes don't even have to have that much conversation about it. But in order for us to grow, I'm telling you now, to do this color thing and to do it right, you are going to have to shift your position. If where you at ain't working, guys, you know it's almost 7 o'clock. Y'all know I have so much fun with y'all in the morning, but y'all know I'm on a mission. What time is it here? 6:54. We got 6 minutes. Okay, I got a couple more minutes. But you're going to have to be willing to shift your position. You're going to have to, guys. It is not going to work. If you find yourself being stressed out just at the thought of going to work, then something's got to change. And we got to be in here too long. 5 more minutes. I know, Nunu. 6 more. Okay, it's 5 now? Okay, 5 more minutes. And I know that's a very difficult thing for some people. And let me tell you something I learned a long time ago, is that you have to not care about people's interpretation of decisions that you have to make for your own life. I promise you all, if I got caught up in what people would or rather me not do, or worried about people talking about me because I had to make X, I would not be where I am today. I ain't never cared about what people thought. I say all the time, I know when I make this decision. Matter of fact, I try to jump ahead of it. I know when I make this decision, they gonna say X, Y, Z, this, that, and the other. So what? Nobody likes that feeling. Nobody likes the feeling of being talked about or being blasted for a decision you gotta make. But at the end of the day, it cannot alter your final decision. It can't. It cannot, guys. I tell a person, it's a little sunny out here, I gotta put some glasses on. I tell a person in a minute, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. I have made decisions at the risk of losing clients, okay, because my price is going up anyway. So if I lose a few, the ones that stay gonna pay for the ones that left. I'm all right with that. I'm gonna leave you all with this, because I know we only got a few minutes. What am I looking at? 56. With growth comes loss. I will say that again. With some growth, you are inevitably going to incur some loss. Some loss. Do not ever think that if I say, oh, I'm going to grow, I'm going to do this, that you ain't going to lose nothing. That's unrealistic. Unrealistic. If you don't, just thank God for it and say, whoo, God, I escaped that one. But let me tell you, you need to go into growth situations saying, I know I may lose this, but the greater gain is worth whatever I lose. And I cannot let people, not clients, not family members, not anybody, cannot hold you hostage. Okay, Nunu, you want me to say it 3 more times? With growth comes loss. Some loss is going to be incurred. You cannot get around it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For those of you all that love God and Jesus like I do, read some of those parables in those. But everybody had to lose something just to gain it. Nobody was unscathed. Nobody. But when you are on a true growth cycle and you are focused and you are determined, you like whatever. It's what they say, it's the cost of doing business. That's what it is. That means if people can't stick with you, I'm sorry. Okay, I see you at the barbecue. I'll see you at the holiday. I'll see you whenever. Let me tell you what'll happen. And I learned this being a person that's always felt like an alien. I've always, since I was a child, been just different than everybody in my circle. Always. And as a child, it was difficult because I didn't understand why I always was the outsider, why I always was the outcast. Let me tell you what has happened to me since I got older. And God is so awesome, because now the same people, whether it be in my profession or not, that saw me as an outcast, those people have a level of respect for me that is unprecedented, because I ain't never changed. I ain't never conformed. I've never done. I like this. What I got to do. I don't talk about people. If you don't get it, even those that use me, I love them too. It don't matter, because it's about me and what God has called me to do and the change that God has taken me through in order for me to do it. And it is necessary. Okay, I'm about to start talking. I'm about to go into the spiritual aspect, y'all. I'm about to run a red light, so I got to pay attention. Okay? I don't want to run a red light because the sun is blinding me. But again, I'm gonna finish off because I got things to do. I gotta work, y'all. Okay? With growth comes loss. I love everybody out there that wants to hear what I have to say. You all hit me up. Let me know if these messages are really helping you. Hit me up, Knowledge by Nikki, that's with 1K.com, or either DM me. I got somebody that, Erica Garcia, I'm not going to delete you. I'm at my Facebook Max, and she's, Erica Garcia says she was trying to, she loves these talks, and she sent me a message early this morning. It's like, don't delete me because I see you at 5,000. I got to delete some of y'all. So I'm going to make sure I don't delete anybody who I know I shouldn't delete. Okay, but you all hit me up. Knowledge by Nikki, Nikki N-I-K-I, because it's short for Nikita. And let me know.com, and let me know how much these are helping you, because my goal is, you know, John C. Maxwell, my very favorite author. Anybody who sat in my class, you've heard me mention him 1,000 times. He says something in his books. I got every book he ever wrote. He says, once you find yourself, this is true leadership. You have to find yourself first. That means you got to figure you out. And it takes some going through some stuff. Once you find yourself, then you lose yourself. That means I found myself. I get it. I get it. Now I'm willing to lose myself, meaning it ain't about me, because I want you all to get it. All right? And that's all we got for today. Peace out. KnowledgeByNikki.com. I'll see. Remember, next week now. Next week. Because it's dark in the morning. I'm going to start at 7 to 7:30. Only because I don't like driving in the dark, guys. 7 to 7:30. It'll stay that time forever. Monday through Friday. I'll see you then. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.